Good morning. This is continuation of the book of Esther. We're beginning in chapter 9 today. As you remember, uh, Mordecai and Esther sat down and wrote out a new decree and sent it out to all the 127 provinces, telling the Jews that they had the right to defend themselves against all of their enemies. And so let's begin in chapter 9, verse 1. On the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, the edict commanded by the king was to be carried out. On this day, the enemies of the Jews had hoped to overpower them. But now the tables were turned, and the Jews got the upper hand over those who hated them. The Jews assembled in their cities and all the provinces of King Ahasuerus to attack those seeking their destruction. No one could stand against them because the people of all the other nationalities were afraid of them, and all the nobles in the provinces, the satraps, the governors, the king's administrators helped the Jews because of fear of Mordecai. Mordecai had seized them. Mordecai was prominent in the palace. His reputation spread throughout the provinces, and he became more and more powerful. Now we've got two situations that are going on here, two different words that we need to think about. One of them is enemy. Who is your enemy? The enemy is one that seeks your personal destruction. They want to do personal harm to you. It is someone that really dislikes you, okay, and they profess openly their hatred toward you. Another word that sometimes we think of as an enemy is an adversary. An adversary is one who rejoices at your downfall, your ill fortune. He's glad that you're having to go bankrupt. He dislikes you, but he doesn't openly show it. He keeps it within himself and secretly admires the fact that you fell. On the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, when the king's command and edict was about to be carried out, the tables were turned. The Jews gave the upper hand. They organized. This says that they organized. They limited their vengeance to those who wished to do them harm. They didn't just go out and kill people randomly, just those that wanted to do them harm. Fear of the Jews had fallen on all the people and on all of the officials, because they knew that Mordecai was really high up in the government, and if they didn't do anything if they did anything to harm the Jews, Mordecai would hear about it, and so he would retaliate against them. Now let's look at verse 5. The Jews struck down all their enemies with the sword, killing and destroying them, and they did what they pleased to those who hated them. In the citadel of Susa, the Jews killed and destroyed 500 men. They also killed Parshantha, Dolphin, Aspatha, Poratha, Adalia, Ardathama, Parmasta, Arisi, Aradi, and Vizatha, the 10 sons of Haman, son of Hamadatha, the enemy of the Jews. But they did not lay their hands on the plunder. Now this is going to be something that is going to be ongoing each time it says the number of people that they killed. The Jews did not lay any of the plunder. Go all the way back to, I believe it is 2 Samuel. It might be 1 Samuel. And where King Saul, 1 Samuel 15, where King Saul is supposed to kill all of the sons of King. He's supposed to kill everybody, including King Agag, and he doesn't. He saves King Agag. He saves the plunder that he wants to save, things like this. And they did not want to be caught up in the same thing that King Saul was. Let's look at verse 11. The number of those slain in the citadel of Shushan was reported the king the same day. The king said to Queen Esther, "The Jews have killed and destroyed 500 men and the 10 sons of Haman in the citadel of Shushan. What have we done in the rest of the king's provinces? Now what is your petition? It will be given you. What is your request? It will also be granted." So now we're back to asking Queen Esther what she wants out of this. They'd killed 500 men in the capital city of Shushan, and they'd also killed the 10 sons of Haman. So she asked the king, "If it pleases the king," Esther answered, this is verse 13, "give the Jews in Susa permission to carry out this day's edict tomorrow also, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged on gallows." Now, they're already dead. Just said that they're already dead. They'd already killed them. We don't know how. But she says, let the 10 sons also be hung on gallows. Maybe they made a gallows. We don't know. Maybe they made a gallows that was there with their daddy, Haman. But so now in verse 14, so the king commanded that this be done. An edict was issued in Shushan, and they hanged the 10 sons of Haman. The Jews of Susa, of Shushan, came together on the 14th day of the month of Adar, and they put to death in Shushan 300 men, but they did not lay hands on the plunder. So now we have 500 killed the first day and 300 the next day. That's a total of 800 men so far. Meanwhile, the remainder of the Jews who were in the king's provinces also assembled to protect themselves and get relief from their enemies. They killed 75,000 of them, but did not lay their hands on the plunder. That's very important. They did not lay their hands on the plunder. This happened on the 13th of the month of Adar, and on the 14th they rested and made it a day of feasting and joy. So now we have the triumph on the 13th and the 14th. The 13th throughout all of the kingdom, and on the 13th and 14th, they're in the city of Shushan. And we have 75,000 men killed throughout the kingdom, and 800 killed just there in that one city. These were enemies of the Jews. These were the enemies that absolutely wanted everything that they wanted the total destruction of the Jews. Okay, now they didn't want to lay hand. They did not take any of the money. They did not take any of the property or anything. So what happened to the property? It goes back to King Ahasuerus. And so if you will remember now in 1 Samuel 15, when Saul was commanded to kill King Amalek or Agag, he didn't do it. He kept the king alive. the cattle, some of the cattle, the sheep, the horses, the donkeys, stuff that he wanted. But he was commanded to kill everything, okay, and take no spoil. And so we'll stop there at 17 today and on this video, and we'll continue on the next video beginning with verse 18.